We talked about programming quite a bit, and a lot of folks that are developers are really worried about their jobs, about the future of programming. Do you think AI replaces programmers completely, human programmers?
I mean, we're definitely going in that direction. Programming is just a part of building products. So maybe AI does replace programmers eventually, but there's so much more to that art. Like, what do you actually want to build? How should it feel? How's the architecture? I don't think agents will replace all of that. Yeah, like just the actual art of programming, it will stay there, but it's gonna be like knitting. Like people do that because they like it, not because it makes any sense. So I read this article this morning about someone that it's okay to mourn our craft. And a part of me very strongly resonates with that, because in my past, I spent a lot of time tinkering, just being really deep in the flow and just like cranking out code and like finding really beautiful solutions. And yes, in a way, it's sad because that will go away. And I also got a lot of joy out of just writing code and being really deep in my thoughts and forgetting time and space and just being in this beautiful state of flow. But you can get the same state of flow. I get a similar state of flow by working with agents and building and thinking really hard about problems. It is different, and it's okay to mourn it, but that's not something we can fight. Like, the world for a long time there was a lack of intelligence, if you see it like that, of people building things. And that's why salaries of software developers reached stupidly high amounts, and that will go away. There will still be a lot of demand for people that understand how to build things. Just that all this tokenized intelligence enables people to do a lot more, a lot faster. And it will be even faster and even more, because those things are continuously improving. We had similar things it's probably not a perfect analogy, but when we created the steam engine and they built all these factories and replaced a lot of manual labor, and then people revolted and broke the machines. I can relate that if you very deeply identify that you are a programmer, that it's scary and that it's threatening, because what you like and what you're really good at is now being done by a soulless or not entity. But I don't think you're just a programmer. That's a very limiting view of your craft. You are still a builder.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to say. So one is, as you're articulating this beautifully, I'm realizing I never thought I would, the thing I love doing would be the thing that gets replaced. You hear these stories about these, like you said, with the steam engine. I've spent so many, I don't know, maybe thousands of hours poring over code and putting my heart and soul and just like some of my most painful and happiest moments were alone behind. I was an Emacs person for a long time, man. Emacs, and then there's an identity and there's meaning, and there's like when I walk about the world, I don't say it out loud, but I think of myself as a programmer. And to have that in a matter of months, I mean, like you mentioned, April to November, it really is a leap that happened, a shift that's happening. To have that completely replaced is painful. It's truly painful. But I also think programmers, builders more broadly, but what is the act of programming? I think programmers are generally best equipped at this moment in history to learn the language, to empathize with agents, to learn the language of agents, to feel the CLI.
Yeah.
like to understand what is the thing you need, you the agent need to do this task the best.
I think at some point it's just going to be called coding again, and it's just going to be the new normal.
Yeah.
And yet, while I don't write the code, I very much feel like I'm in the driver's seat and I am writing the code. You know, it's just,
You'll still be a programmer. It's just the activity of a programmer is different.
yeah. And because on X, the bubble I'm in is mostly positive. On Mastodon and Blue Sky, I also use it less because oftentimes I got attacked for my blog posts, and I had stronger reactions in the past. Now I can sympathize with those people more because in a way I get it. In a way I also don't get it because it's very unfair to grab onto the person that you see right now and unload all your fear and hate. It's going to be a change and it's going to be challenging, but it's also, I don't know, I find it incredibly fun and gratifying, and I can use the new time to focus on much more details. I think the level of expectations of what we build is also rising because it's just now, the default is now so much easier. So software is changing in many ways. There's going to be a lot more. And then you have all these people that are screaming, oh yeah, but what about the water? You know, like I did a conference in Italy about the state of AI, and my whole motivation was to push people away from, don't see yourself as an iOS developer anymore. You're now a builder, and you can use your skills in many more ways. Also because apps are slowly going away. People didn't like that. Like a lot of people didn't like what I had to say. And I don't think I was hyperbole. I was just like, this is how I see the future. Maybe this is not how it's going to be, but I'm pretty sure a version of that will happen. And the first question I got was, yeah, but what about the insane water use on data centers? But then you actually sit down and do the math. And then for most people, if you just skip one burger per month, that compensates the CO2 output or like the water use in the equivalent of tokens. I mean, the math is tricky, and it depends if you add pre-training, then maybe it's more than just one patty, but it's not off by a factor of 100, you know? So like golf is still using way more water than all data centers together. So are you also hating people that play golf? Those people grab on anything that they think is bad about AI without seeing the potential things that might be good about AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying everything is good. It's certainly going to be a very transformative technology for our society.
There's to steel man the criticism in general. I do want to say, in my experience with Silicon Valley, there's a bit of a bubble in the sense that there's a kind of excitement and an overfocus about the positive that the technology can bring.
Yeah.
And which is great. It's great to focus on, not to be paralyzed by fear and fear mongering and so on. But there's also, within that excitement and within everybody talking just to each other, there's a dismissal of the basic human experience across the United States, in the Midwest, across the world, including the programmers we mentioned, including all the people that are going to lose their jobs, including the immeasurable pain and suffering that happens at the short-term scale when there's change of any kind, especially large-scale transformative change that we're about to face if what we're talking about will materialize. And so having a bit of that humility and an awareness about the tools you're building, they're going to cause pain. They will long-term hopefully bring about a better world and even more opportunities and even more awesomeness. But having that kind of like quiet moment often of respect for the pain that is going to be felt. And so like, not enough of that is, I think, done. So it's good to have a bit of that.
And then I also have to put against some of the emails I got where people told me they have a small business and they've been struggling, and OpenClaw helped them automate a few of the tedious tasks from collecting invoices to like answering customer emails that then freed them up and like caused them a bit more joy in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Or some emails where they told me that OpenClaw helped their disabled daughter, that she's now empowered and feels she can do much more than before, which is amazing, right? Because you could do that before as well. The technology was there. I didn't invent a whole new thing, but I made it a lot easier and more accessible, and that did show people the possibilities that they previously wouldn't see, and now they apply it for good.
Mm-hmm.
Or like also the fact that, yes, I suggest the latest and best models, but you can totally run this on free models. You can run this locally. You can run this on Kimi or other models that are way more accessible price-wise, and still have a very powerful system that might otherwise not be possible because other things like, I don't know, Anthropic's cowork is logged into their space. So it's not all black and white. I got a lot of emails that were heartwarming and amazing, and I don't know, it just made me really happy.
Yeah, there's a lot. It has brought joy into a lot of people's lives, not just programmers, like a lot of people's lives. It's beautiful to see. What gives you hope about this whole thing we have going on, the human civilization?
I mean, I inspired so many people. There's this whole builder vibe again. People are now using AI in a more playful way and are discovering what it can do and how it can like help them in their life, and creating new places that are just sprawling of creativity. I don't know, like there's like ClawCon in Vienna. There's like 500 people, and there's such a high percentage of people that I want to present, which is to me really surprising because usually it's quite hard to find people that want to like talk about what they built, and now there's an abundance. So that gives me hope that we can figure shit out.
And it makes it accessible to basically everybody.
Yeah.
Just imagine all these people building, especially as you make it simpler and simpler, more secure. It's like anybody who has ideas and can express those ideas in language can build. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's ultimately power to the people, and one of the beautiful things that come out of AI. Not just a slop generator.
Well, Mr. Cloudfather, I just realized when I said that in the beginning, I violated 2 trademarks because there's also the Godfather. I'm getting sued by everybody. You're a wonderful human being. You've created something really special, a special community, a special product, a special set of ideas, plus the humor, the good vibes, the inspiration of all these people building, the excitement to build. So I'm truly grateful for everything you've been doing and for who you are and for sitting down to talk with me today. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for giving me the chance to tell my story.